Hi guys, it's Mary McIntyre. Welcome to another video. This is all about autumn leaves. I bought these trinket trays ages ago and I just haven't had time to use them. I was planning to do some summer leaf trinket trays, but we're now in September, so they're going to be autumn leaves. And I've also got my small leaf moulds. I bought those last year. You may remember I had a Polly McClay disaster using these moulds. I've since made quite a few resin pieces with them, and I made maple leaf necklace and earring sets, and one of my friends wants me to make her one in green. So I've got the dark green out for that, and I may just add a little bit of gilding wax to pick up the texture of the leaf on that one after it's demolded. So with the trinket trays and the rest of these leaves, I'm going to try to capture that leaves in the process of changing. So rather than being one solid colour, I want to try to get a mixture of colours. So I've got all my autumn coloured mica powders out of my set of very huge quantity of different colours of mica powder, but these are all the kind of autumny ones. So I'm going to add the mica powder onto the leaf mould rather than into the resin itself, because I'll have more control over where the colours are. So yeah, I've been so excited to make these trinket trays, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they come out. Once the mica powder is dusted, I will be putting my PPE on and mixing my resin off camera. I'm using the Apex high gloss resin here and the Vista black pigment, because that picks up the mica powder colours better than using clear or white. So I'm gonna get started dusting these moulds. Okay, it has been just about a day and a half since I poured these, so let's take a look at them. Demold the small leaves first. There's a lot of overspill on these, which I will sort out. I've got my craft blade ready. So some of these are two-tone, some, oh wow, that's pretty. Some of them are single colour, and the main reason for making the small leaves is that somebody, I think I said in the intro, somebody wanted me to make them an earring and pendant set of leaves in green. Oh wow, some of these mixed dual coloured ones are really pretty. I've not done that before in this small leaf mould. Lots and lots of overspill. These are really nice. So some of these I've just kind of blobbed it on rather than try to make it symmetrical. That looks really pretty. Nice. So yeah, I'll bring you down for a close-up of those, but I'm really excited to see how these trays have fared. I'm going to do, this looks like a Monstera leaf, I believe. I'm going to do that one first. Oh, there is an air bubble there, but I can sand the edges of that. Okay, so that's kind of like a matte finish mould, which was a surprise. I felt like it was going to be a shinier final result than that, but it's really pretty. It's very thin, it's incredibly light. That is very nice. Let's have a look at this one. A little air bubble again in that one. So yeah, that one is shinier. Yeah, they're both very pretty. The colours of kind of, this one's got more of that yellow and orange, but this one is entirely, it's very muted. It's way more muted than I was expecting it to be. This is the one that I really want to add a little bit of, I used this Pebeo gilding wax in my last video in a very minuscule quantity. I'm going to do the same in this video. Right, that's all the excess trimmed off. These with the gold on don't need any embellishment. They're already kind of bright and they pop quite well on their own. These other leaves, I'm going to add just a little bit. And with the green ones that my friend wants, we're talking about a minuscule amount of gold. So I'm just going to get my bearings again on how much to use on these just by doing one of the others. Like, you just tickle it. That's all you're doing, is the tiniest brush across, and that's it, just to pick up. There's so much texture on these pieces. There's just loads and loads of texture on the leaves, and all that the gilding wax is doing is just picking that up, and it just adds another dimension to them. If you put too much on, it just makes them purely gold, which is not the aim. So less is definitely more. This stuff is very hard to take off if you put too much on. So always dab off the excess and barely any pressure on your brush. Remember, you can always add more if you want more. You can't take away. Okay, the big ones. I'm going to do the tray. I'll do this one first. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. That's just given that a little extra pop. I really like how that looks. I'm still torn on whether to do it on this one or not, because there's no gold on there now. There is now. And the very shiny surfaces like this, the gold gilding wax doesn't always stick quite so well, but I am gonna just go for it. This brush is probably too small for a piece this size. So I'm literally just kind of doing squiggles and then rubbing it with my finger. I think my finger's going to be best for this. The brush is just too small. Definitely get the excess off with your finger though, because it's so easy to put too much on. I've actually made some of my own gilding waxes. It's not the same formula as this stuff, obviously, but I just used clear shoe polish and mixed a load of it in with mica powder, and that gives you the same kind of effect. Now, it doesn't dry down as well as this one does, but for the kind of pieces that I used it on, it worked really well, and it just adds a little extra pop of colour that you can't get any other way. Oh, I'm so glad I did that. Oh yes, I'm very, very, very glad that I did go and do that on this one. I like that a lot. This kind of dry brush gold has a kind of aesthetic that was very popular in the 90s when celestial stuff was really popular and everything was painted dark blue but with like dry brushing gold on it, and I was absolutely here for it. I loved it, loved the whole aesthetic. And it's weird because I'm not a gold girl. I've never been particularly into gold at all, but this gilding wax is gorgeous and I use it a lot. I feel like I keep going back to these. I feel like they need more gold. Am I going to ruin them? That's better. A little bit more pop. Right, I will show you the finished result up close in a second. So here's everything finished. Give you an up close view of the Monstera leaf tray. So you can see it's not colour shifting mica, but it has that nice kind of multi-tonal thing because of the different colours I used, and I'm really glad that I went in with the gilding wax and just added that little extra pop of gold. The leaves, I've made one set into a necklace and earrings. The others I can't decide if they're going to be jewellery or hanging decorations, so I've left them for now. Choice anxiety. And then I've got this leaf as well, which again, multi-tonal colours. And I went in with the gold again just to add accents of brighter gold. None of these are the colour palette that I was thinking when I started making them, but I think they're so beautiful. I could make leaves all day. I absolutely love making these little autumn leaves, and you can do them in absolutely any colour. They can be summer leaves, they can be spring leaves. This palette is more muted and not really kind of like bright orange. So if I did them again, I'd focus more on the orange mica and try to get some that are a little bit more in that colour. But in general, really happy with how all this lot turned out. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and make sure you're subscribed because we've got Halloween videos coming very, very soon. Take care, see you in the next one. Bye for now.